Hello everyone, with me, Teacher Lirenz. Today I'm gonna explain about past tense. Halo semua, hari ini dengan saya, Teacher Lirenz. Saya akan menjelaskan tentang past tense. Okay, as you can see, this is the pattern, but I'm gonna explain in detail on the next slide. Seperti yang teman-teman bisa lihat, ini adalah bagian patternnya, polanya, tapi saya akan menjelaskan lebih detail di halaman berikutnya. Okay, past tense is used when we want to describe completed actions, events, situations in the past. Jadi past tense digunakan kalau kita menceritakan kejadian atau acara atau situasi yang sudah lengkap terjadi di masa lalu, masa lampau. Okay, past, present, and future. Present it means now. Future in the future. Past it means already past. Jadi past itu yang sudah lewat, sudah lampau. Present itu sekarang, saat ini. Future, masa depan. Time signal in past tense. Keterangan waktu dalam bentuk past tense. Okay, in English, if we want to make sentences, we have to know the time signal. Dalam bahasa Inggris, kalau kita mau bikin kalimat, kita harus tahu dulu keterangan waktunya kapan. Okay, for past tense, we use, for example, yesterday. Untuk past tense, kita menggunakan contohnya adalah yesterday, kemarin. Last week, minggu lalu. Last month, bulan lalu. Last Monday, hari Senin yang lalu. Last night, semalam. Ago, 2 days ago, 2 hari yang lalu. 5 years ago, 5 tahun yang lalu. 10 minutes ago, 10 menit yang lalu. This morning, tadi pagi. This afternoon, tadi siang. To be in past tense, we use was and were. I, he, she, it, we use was. You, we, they, we use were. Dalam bentuk past tense, to be ada dua macam, was dan were. I, he, she, it menggunakan was. You, we, they menggunakan were. To be in past tense when there is no verbs. Oke, kita menggunakan to be dalam bentuk past tense kalau tidak ada kata kerja. When there is no verbs, we use to be. Okay, for example, I was sick last night. Saya semalam sakit. I was in class last week. Saya ada di kelas minggu lalu. They were in Japan 2 years ago. Mereka ada di Jepang 2 tahun yang lalu. Jane was at the hospital yesterday. Jane ada di rumah sakit kemarin. John was at home yesterday. John ada di rumah kemarin. John is here today, but he wasn't here yesterday. John ada di sini hari ini, tapi dia tidak ada di sini kemarin. He wasn't at school last Friday. Dia tidak ada di sekolah hari Jumat yang lalu. Maria was very tired last night. Maria sangat capek semalam. I am in Jakarta now, but I was in Korea 4 days ago. Saya ada di Jakarta sekarang, tapi saya ada di Korea 4 hari yang lalu. We weren't in Singapore last week. We were in India. Kami tidak ada di Singapura minggu lalu. Kami adanya di India. You were happy yesterday, but now you are sad. Kamu senang kemarin, tapi sekarang kamu sedih. It was cold yesterday. Dingin kemarin. My parents were at home yesterday. Orang tua kami ada di rumah kemarin. John was late for school. John telat untuk sekolah. Okay, before you move on to the next slide, I'm going to explain the pattern, okay? How to make sentences in past tense. Sebelum kita lanjut, kita harus tahu dulu polanya. Kalau kita membuat kalimat dalam bentuk past tense. Positif, kalimat negatif, dan kalimat tanya. Positive, negative, and questions. So, positive, it means the statement. Positif itu berarti kalimat pernyataan. Benar dilakukan. Negatif is something that you don't do, sesuatu yang tidak dilakukan. Oke, negatif adalah sesuatu yang tidak dilakukan. Questions when you want to ask something. Oke, kalimat pertanyaan kalau kalimat tanya. Okay, so we use to be on the left side and verbs, when there is verbs we use on the right side. Kalau ada kata kerja, kita menggunakan yang sebelah kanan. Okay, now we focus on to be. Sekarang kita fokus dulu ke bagian to be. Okay, bagian to be ya. Positive sentence, kalimat positif. We use subject plus was or were. For example, they were here a few minutes ago. Kita menggunakan subject plus was atau were. Contohnya adalah they were here a few minutes ago. Mereka ada di sini beberapa menit yang lalu. Negatif. We use was not or were not. So, they weren't here a few minutes ago. Mereka tidak ada di sini beberapa menit yang lalu. Was not become wasn't. Were not become weren't. Wasn't and weren't. Kita bisa singkat menjadi was not menjadi wasn't, were not menjadi weren't. When we want to give to make questions, kalau kita mau buat kalimat tanya, was or were we put it in front of the sentence. Kalau kita mau buat kalimat tanya, kita taruh was atau were di letakkan bagian depan kalimat. So, were they here a few minutes ago? Were they here a few minutes ago? Next, verbs. Subject plus verb ed or verb to. Okay, later I will explain when to use verb ed and when to use verb to. Nanti di halaman berikutnya, saya akan jelaskan kapan kita menggunakan verb ed dan kapan menggunakan verb to. Okay, so I'm gonna explain only for the pattern first, and then later on I will explain in details. Okay, so don't forget, for past tense we use verb ed or verb to or past tense. Okay, for example, he worked with ed. He worked. Or verb to we use he went yesterday. Negative form. We use not. All negative form, we have to use not. Semua kalimat negatif kita harus menggunakan kata not. Okay? And after we use did, we have to use verb 1 or base form. Setelah menggunakan did, kita harus menggunakan verb 1 atau kata kerja dasar. For example, he didn't work or he didn't go yesterday. Okay, did not sama aja kayak didn't. The contraction is didn't. For example, for the question, did plus subject plus verb 1. For example, did he work or did he go yesterday? Okay, when there are verbs, okay, there are two types of verbs for past tense: regular verbs and irregular verbs. Okay, for regular verbs, we add d or ed, while for irregular verbs we use verb to. Dalam bentuk kata kerja, dalam bentuk past tense ada dua macam. Ada yang kata kerja beraturan atau regular verbs, dan kata kerja yang tidak beraturan, irregular verbs. For regular verbs, untuk kalimat kata kerja yang beraturan, we put d or ed. Kita tambahkan d atau ed. While for irregular verbs, sementara untuk irregular verbs, we just use verb to or past tense. Okay? Kita menggunakan verb to. Okay? Jadi verb to hanya digunakan untuk irregular verbs. Okay, to make it simple for you, is, am become was. Are become were. Do or does become did. And of course, after did, we have to use verb 1. Jadi, is am berubah menjadi was, are berubah menjadi were dalam bentuk past tense. Do or does become did. Do atau does menjadi did plus verb 1. For example, I don't go there. Misalkan kalimatnya adalah saya tidak pergi ke sana. Kalau dalam bentuk past tense berubah menjadi I didn't go there yesterday. For example, there is no verb in the sentence. Misalkan dalam kalimat tidak ada kata kerjanya. Okay? For example, Aluna was at school yesterday. Aluna di sekolah kemarin. Negative form, Aluna wasn't at school yesterday. Aluna tidak ada di sekolah kemarin. Question, bertanya, was Aluna at school yesterday? Apakah Aluna di sekolah kemarin? Number 2, Feli and Aluna were hungry yesterday. Feli dan Aluna lapar kemarin. Negatif, tidak berarti ya. Feli and Aluna weren't hungry yesterday. We use not. Okay, for negative form, we have to use not. The word not. Next question. Were Feli and Aluna hungry yesterday? Apakah Feli dan Aluna lapar kemarin? So you can see from the sentences, okay, from these sentences, there are no verbs. Tidak ada kata kerja di kalimat-kalimat ini. Adanya hungry. Hungry, it's adjective. Hungry adalah kata sifat. At school, it's at verbs of place. Di sekolah adalah keterangan tempat. On this slide, we will learn how to use regular verbs. Di slide ini kita akan pelajari bagaimana menggunakan kata kerja beraturan. For regular verbs, we add verb ed. Okay? Untuk kata kerja beraturan, kita menambahkan ed. For example, Aluna walked to school yesterday with ed. Aluna didn't walk to school yesterday without ed. Did Aluna walk to school yesterday? Apakah Aluna berjalan ke sekolah kemarin? So you can pay attention, okay? We only add ed for positive sentence. Coba perhatikan, kita hanya menambahkan ed untuk kalimat positif. For negative for negative sentence and questions, we don't use ed. We don't add ed. Untuk kalimat negatif dan interrogative, kita tambahkan huruf ed. Feli, number 2, Feli worked at hospital yesterday. Feli bekerja di rumah sakit kemarin. Negatif, Feli didn't work at hospital yesterday. Feli tidak bekerja di rumah sakit kemarin. Interrogative, did Feli work at hospital yesterday? Apakah Feli bekerja di rumah sakit kemarin? Now we will learn irregular verbs. Irregular verbs, we use verb to. Sekarang kita akan belajar tentang irregular verbs atau kata kerja tidak beraturan. Oke, kata kerja tidak beraturan. Jadi kita menggunakan verb to. Past tense kita menggunakan verb to. Oke, for example, Aluna sang yesterday. Aluna didn't sing yesterday for the negative sentence. Did Aluna sing yesterday? For question. So as you can see here, after we use did, we have to use verb 1 or base form. We only use verb 2 for positive sentence only. Seperti yang Anda lihat, kita hanya menggunakan verb 2 hanya untuk kalimat positif. Sedangkan negatif dan interrogatif, setelah kita menggunakan did, kita kembali ke bentuk asalnya, ke kata kerja dasar, yaitu menggunakan verb 1. Okay. Number 2. Feli went to mall yesterday. We use verb 2, went. Negative and interrogative. We use verb 1, okay? Feli didn't go to mall yesterday. Question, did Feli go to mall yesterday? Okay, now I'm gonna give you an exercise, okay? For example, number 1, Aluna, in the bracket, eat pizza yesterday. Okay, good. Aluna ate pizza yesterday. We use verb 2. Negative, Aluna didn't eat pizza yesterday. Aluna tidak makan pizza kemarin. Question, did Aluna eat pizza yesterday? Okay, we use verb 1. Number 2. For brush is regular verbs. Brush is regular verb. So we use brushed with ed. Okay, Feli brushed her teeth yesterday. Feli didn't brush, verb 1 ya. Feli didn't brush her teeth yesterday. Did Feli brush her teeth yesterday? Okay, that was the last slide for this video. But on the next slide, on the next video, I'm gonna explain about irregular verbs in groups. It will help you to understand irregular verbs better, okay? So you can click on the link below, okay? I will attach the link for the irregular verbs in groups so you can understand better, okay? Okay, so if you want to join my online free community to learn English, feel free to subscribe to this channel, okay? And you can follow my Instagram, teacher_Lirenz, okay? And then if you want me to explain about other topics, other materials, feel free to drop a comment below, and I'll try my best to make the next video to help you about the topic, okay? Jadi buat teman-teman, buat tadi itu terakhir, oke, untuk video ini, tapi nanti akan ada penjelasan tentang irregular verbs di video berikutnya. Tinggal klik link di bawah. Nanti di bawah akan ada linknya, tinggal klik. Dan buat teman-teman yang mau ikut online free community untuk belajar Inggris bersama-sama dari WA, bisa klik link, bisa subscribe to my channel, dan follow my Instagram. Nanti akan diberikan form untuk info lebih lanjut tentang ikut online community tersebut. Oke, see you. Kalau ada mau bahas tentang materi lain, tinggal taruh komen di bawah. Nanti saya akan jelaskan topik berikutnya. Oke, thank you. See you.